the petitioner here says the public participation was a sham. We will be going into that through my colleagues. I'm just saying the weighty issues here. The second issue was the constitutional validity of Standing Order 68, giving a period of only 12 days to finish the whole purpose of the impeachment. And I would like to mention this issue of public participation, and indeed the time of 12 days, assumes added importance when we remember the wording of Article 1. The wording of Article 1 is that sovereignty remains in the people of Kenya. They have donated that power, that sovereignty, to your lordships, to your leadership, to the judiciary. They have donated their power to Parliament, the National Assembly, and the Senate, and they have donated that power to the executive. But the people of Kenya remain sovereign. That is why there must be adequate public participation in terms of the decision in the British tobacco case. The third issue was proof, the threshold, serious violations of the Constitution, which the Deputy President says do not exist in his place. Our opponents will be pointing out to you where it is that undermining the President is one of the grounds. My lords, the people of Kenya, in retaining sovereignty in themselves, elected leaders, members of Parliament, senators, Deputy President, the President, to serve them. They are the employers. The Deputy President, the President, the members of Parliament are employed by the people of Kenya. And therefore, the people of Kenya have got a right to see how the people they have employed are discharging the duties they have been given. We look up to you, my lords, your leadership, to be the bench, what the judiciary is what the people of Kenya look up to hold the country together in terms of observance of the Constitution and of the rule of law. The people of Kenya, in electing the Deputy President and the President and the senators and everybody else who is elected, they were not electing to go back to imperial presidency. And it is for this court to ensure that we do not go back to the imperial presidency where the Constitution and the rule of law are replaced by the wishes of one individual. I hand over to my colleague, Elisha Ngoya.
Between 1st October and 17th October, the process between 1st October, when a notice of motion was given in the National Assembly, to 17th October, when a resolution was taken by the Senate, had pretenses, half-hearted pretenses of public participation. That will demonstrate. The process on 18th October, buoyed by any lack of checks, buoyed by the fact that any attempt at checking the institutions had not yielded fruit, now they became brazen. They now undertook a process on 18th October, now completely without any pretense of public participation. There is no single Kenyan who was given a chance to ever say what their take is on Honorable Kithure Kindiki, my law lecturer of yesteryears and a fundamental scholar, my good people. No Kenyan was given a chance. to give any thought on whether or not he is suitable to be deputy president. No member of the public, no memoranda was received, no meeting was called anywhere for anyone to give any thoughts. No email address was given to be crushed by Kenyans, as we now know Kenyans can do it. Completely no pretense at public participation. I'm emphasizing these points, my lords and my lady, to demonstrate the point I made earlier, that we have now been taught how perilous it is for us to rely on our executive institutions and our legislative institutions and our constitutional commissions as defenders of our Constitution. We are now left with only one institution, this judiciary. I don't know where that noise is from within here. I think if they are doing renovations, they may be told that this is so important a day for renovations. We may defer them to another day. And let's face it. Let's face it. The process of 18th October 2024 took 6 hours as a deliberate scheme to defeat each of the principles and values of good governance I have alluded to: transparency, accountability, procedural fairness, and public participation. Who did these violations? We are also here to call people to account. Who did it? Between the time we left Senate around midnight, between the time Senate closed business around midnight of 17th October 2024, and the time we woke up to the presidential communique of 18th October 2024, in that night, the Bishop Oginde-led Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission is documented in the President's memorandum to have received, processed, and given a clearance to Honorable Kithure Kindiki. That night. My lords, history is important, and I may not remind you why our Constitution prescribes that our presidents be sworn in during the day. We were all adults, we know where that comes from. It's one of the most autochthonous provisions of our Constitution. And therefore, when things happen in the night, we have reason to have our antennas high. Between the time Senate rose on the night of 17th October 2024 and the time we woke up in the morning of 18th October 2024 to the President's communication to the National Assembly, we were told that the IEBC, which we now know is not properly constituted,